Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. I've written a couple of books. They're located here at studio-nemo.com, very active on the Duolingo Educators Network, very active in the Minecraft Education Ambassadors. I absolutely love to collaborate with people, so please ping me there. And today, we're experimenting with Harvard Project Zero, thinking routines. We're still in digging deeper into ideas, and we're doing layers today. And that is located right here. Link in the description. This is a routine for structuring analysis of creative works. So you're going to need to translate their little narrative, aesthetic, mechanical, dynamic, and connections into whatever target language you teach. I have French, Spanish, and Japanese located here at studio-nemo.com or in the Duolingo Educators Network. Or I'm going to show you screenshots right now. Now, Harvard Project Zero already did Spanish. Frankly, these words are a little high level for my first year Spanish students. So some of them I make a little simpler for them. For French, here's what I came up with for my first, second, and third year French students, and sometimes I get French 4 when I'm lucky. For Japanese, to be honest, these kanji are just way too advanced for my high school students. So hiragana on top of everything, of course, except for the stuff that I'm sure that they know. And then generally I give the English along with it, and I'm hoping that they're looking back and forth so that it reinforces these. But I never want my instructions to be inaccessible. And I learned that my very, very first year teaching. I was teaching entirely in the target language, and we were playing a game, and I gave instructions in Japanese into my Japanese 4 class, and there was a girl in the corner. I could see she started crying, trying not to let me see that she was crying because she didn't understand what I was saying. So from now on, instructions always in English so that the students, there's no question about it. Harvard Project Zero recommends that the first time you do this routine, you do it whole class, and then you choose the layer for the students. But then when students are comfortable, you can let them choose whatever layer speaks to them. If you're teaching grammar explicitly because you've got a little pop-up grammar thing going on, or you're doing the grammar translation method, or you use the audiolingual method and you're looking at transformation drills and the students still have questions about it, or you're doing community language learning and you've written a script whole class and you're dissecting that script, or you're working straight out of your textbook and you really want to focus on the grammar, students are going to need I see, I think, I like. That's the solid foundation that they need. Make sure they know those in the target language. And then you want a living word bank, because whatever it is you're working on, there's going to be words that the students need to plug into these constructions. Okay, so make sure your students know how to ask for those words, and then have a place in the class, either on the board or on giant poster paper or whatever, where you're writing down the words, because if one student wants to use the word, I guarantee you 5 students are going to want to use the word. And if one student wants to use the word, I also guarantee you that the other 4 students aren't listening when you give the definition to the first student. That's okay, because the cognitive demand is so high. They're paying attention to what they're doing. Just when they ask you the same thing that you've already answered twice before, just smile, point to the board where you've got it written down, and don't make a big deal of it. It's a high cognitive demand. When you're teaching literature, culture, history, art, something about food, listening to some music, I read a lot with my classes, so we do this at various points during the story. And if you're doing any kind of free voluntary reading, also known as silent sustained reading, this is a great idea to have just as like at certain points of the story, or when they're done with the story, just have them fill this out really quick as a reflection on what they've read. In our next episode, we're going to talk about the options diamond. Hope to see you there.